If you are watching another place, you might think, why am I doing the introduction again? I've muted my mic and I forgot it. Ho ho. So, I'm also doing another recording from another place. So, good evening. Hello, everybody. Hello, friends. This is the first time I've done a private, a private meeting in my own little kind of office. It's not really an office. Today, I will be speaking about things we need in the country. There are things that are different that we need in the country than things we need in the city. Like many different things, and if you are more interested, just check the link down below. Doug Batchelor has a book called Heading for the Hills. You can check that out after Sabbath tomorrow. Heading for the Hills, I have the link to the description down below. You can check that out tomorrow. Heading, and the title again is Heading for the Hills. If you are interested in country living, I do have that book. It's a very helpful book. It really helps me. Inside this book, the full title is actually Heading for the Hills: A Beginner's Guide to Country Living by Doug Batchelor. I hope you know which book I'm talking about. So that will be a good book. And if you want to see the slide for people who are viewing, this is audio only for you who are viewing on the other part that I'm recording. Hopefully it will get somewhere. If not, it will stay in my phone hopefully it will get to Instagram on the IGTV. Okay, so before we would like to say anything, let's start with a word of prayer. Reverently bow our heads and say a word of prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, today we are learning things we need in the country. We want to obey you, what you have said in the Bible, moving to the country. You ask us to flee from the cities. And your prophetess Ellen White had also said to leave the cities. Lord, please show us when we should leave the cities. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Alright, so today we are going to speak about leaving the cities. You should see the slide here that I put up today. Today's slide, you can see that I zoomed in the slide for you now. The first thing we need in our country home, if you are not really too close in the country, you might say, I don't know country living too well. So I have a really good YouTube channel that I would like to recommend to you. It is Aloha Country Living. It's this. You can see it right now. It's Aloha Country Living. I recommend that to you if you want to learn more in country living. And we don't have to move out too deep into the country, like off the grid. The rural areas is better for you if you are not familiar with the country living. If you are like a second or third generation in the country, probably it would be a great idea if you could have a house off the grid. Anyway, you should check out a website that I created. It is Sermons with Joel. It's SermonsWithJoel.GODADDYSITES.com. You can check it out right after this video was finished. And number one, the first thing we need in the country is a house. The house doesn't have to be too fancy, as long as you can live inside. Excuse me, and as long as there's place for your watchdogs, that's good enough. A house. a house with lots and lots and lots of land. We need more land than we need how much space in the house. The house doesn't have to be looking so nice in the outside. What matters is what is in the inside. Is it full of cobwebs? We need to. The outside doesn't really matter, but we would like a nice outside. Okay, a house with lots and lots and lots and lots of land. I want to have lots of land for me to plant foods, for me to play with my dog, and also for me to play golf. Okay, I'm not an experienced golfer. So that's why but the main reason why we want to move to the country is we want to get closer to God. If you live in the city, if there are many distractions like the train passing by overhead in your apartment by the window, and you have to rush to the window every time a train passes by to close the window because it's really loud, and there are buses and there are car honkings and many other distractions, and we can't really have good time with God. So, but in the country, are there any loud distractions in the country? No, hardly a distraction in the country. So that's why country living is also to get us closer to God. That's why country living is good. And in the country, we need a big land. A big land is good so that we can have space to put. We need space to plant because there are no such grocery kind of grocery stores in the country because like Trader Joe's, Costco's, you have to travel like the rural area probably like an hour. So there are no close by. If you watch Aloha Country Living, they are like quite far. We can it's like quite far away from the supermarket. So and what Doug Batchelor's book, he's really in the off the grid kind of. So I'm sure that is very far away to the country to Costco. So that's why we need to have a good stock of food in our backyards. He says his breakfast is just simply let me find out where is it. Okay, it's in chapter 12, Food, Garden, and Orchard. Almost everyone has a favorite food or meal. Maybe for you it's something you enjoyed as a child during the holidays or on your birthday. Maybe it's a family recipe for pasta sauce or baked beans or potato salad. Whatever. Alright, I'm just gonna skip to the third paragraph. This second and third paragraph, Doug Batchelor says, my favorite meal happens when I'm in Kovalo. It's straight from the garden, incredibly simple and fresh and full of flavor. So in the country, he didn't have to really go to Costco to get something. But he's later on, I'll read to you something. First, I head outside and pick a large ripe tomato. Next, I find a fresh sweet cucumber. Then I pick a handful of parsley. Back in the kitchen, I get out a loaf of delicious whole grain bread that we usually buy in town. I then layer tomato and cucumber slices with some salt and parsley on the bread. Say a prayer of thanks to God for this amazing food and enjoy. That's it. Truly delicious. So that is how country living is. You don't really have a city contact. You don't really have a contact to the city. Doug Batchelor, the only thing he needed to go to the town or something is to get a loaf of bread. Otherwise, it's all fresh from his garden. That's country living. We need to learn how to plant food, and we need to have money in our pockets to move there. We need money in the country, and we also need to have enough food that we need to learn how to plant because planting is very important in the country. Imagine you move to a place and you don't know how to plant. You'll be in trouble by then. You know why I say that? You'll be in trouble. It's because you once you go there, you say, now my stomach is growling. I need food. But town is 1 hour away. So what is the problem now? So that's why you need to learn how to plant foods. That's very important. And you must also, this is what we are planning of doing. We need to, when we have to buy a place. That's the good idea. Buy a place, and when you bought it, plant some foods there. So when you go there, when you move on like the next month or two, you have food there ready. Understand? For foods that can go fast, one or 2 months before, and probably food that take a long time, probably a great bit of while before. Second thing you need in the country is a good vehicle. It's not just like a regular vehicle, like a sedan or unreliable car or a Chrysler or something. The reason why I'm using Chrysler in this meeting is because my dad used to have a 1984, I think 1985 or something, Playmate Valero or something. I don't even know the name too well. And he said the wiper didn't work. It was a yellow one. A yellow car would be really funny. So we Japanese people make good cars. So we are planning of getting a Toyota Highlander. So I happened to find this picture of the Acura RDX, and when we look at the car, we like to make sure it's long behind. It's safer for those who sit in the second row. We need an all-wheel drive. Do you know why all-wheel drive? Why not just front-wheel drive or back-wheel drive? Why all-wheel drive? When it's all-wheel drive, all wheels spin, and if you get stuck in the snow, all wheels will move, and it's easier for you to get out of the snow in the country. Who shovels the snow, really? Not really, and you have to get your aching arms to just move the shovel a little bit and toss it to the side. If you move to a cold country like New York. This year when we had snow, it was a mini blizzard actually, and I was the one who ended up shoveling snow off the car, off the sidewalks. Of course, we have some our house owner has some people who will come to in the summer mow the lawn, and in the winter uh, shovel the snow. They're really I feel pitiful for them. I feel sorry for them. They came when I was about at bed at 9 o'clock. They came. Really, really. That's a feel sorry for them, don't you? I can tell you. Yeah, really. So a four-wheel drive is the best thing you need to get in the country. The best vehicle. And we also need a reliable vehicle that doesn't need to go to the mechanics all the time. Imagine like our lemon car, which is a 2001 to the Camry. Because when the ones that get old, we try to avoid 2017 to 19 because they have recalls, and too old is no good. You know, see what happens to our lemon. You have seen pictures of it before. It's a lemon. I can tell you, it's a lemon. We scratched the muffler before, and then it had sounds. And then one day, last week or about 2 weeks ago, on the let me see what date was it? On February, on the 24th, when we went somewhere, we went to Manhattan. We parked in the garage. You know, in Manhattan, they have all those public garages that you can park your car in. And we parked inside. And when the attendant drove the car up, it was sounding like an 18-wheeler. It was loud. So that's why. And then later on, of course, we had to fix it. And now it is like a Porsche. No sound. Hardly a sound. So we want to have a reliable car that we don't have to throw money out of our pockets just to fix it. And we want a cheap to maintain car. And we don't want like at first we wanted a Volvo, but we found out Volvos were hard to fix and they cost money. We don't want to pay too much money. We want a simple car. It doesn't have to be a luxury. Luxury cars are not needed. Luxury cars, I said it before, outside is not important. Just like the outside of the apple. It might look very nice, very red, but what is on inside the apple? It happens to us before. It looks nice on the outside, but inside is black. There's a worm inside. If you watch one of Pastor Pavel Goya's sermon, he talked about beautiful religion, and he gave a demonstration. The apple looks really good, smells good, and everything good, and wears your money, and wears a tie and everything, and goes to church and is beautiful. But what happens when he goes inside the apple? There's a worm. Let me see if I can share with you the screen. I will go my entire screen, share audio. All right. So I just had a pop-up message that I just wanted to read. So if I go to Pastor Pavel Goya, beautiful religion. Well, beautiful religion. This one. Excuse me. So just give me 1 second. Pavel Goya, beautiful religion.
Morning and happy Sabbath.
All right, we just skipped here.
Yes. Have you followed them? No. Okay. People who let you down, you let you down. Stop looking to me. Keep your eyes on Christ.
Just give me 1
and then
second.
he said, the time God, some breakfast.
Okay, here's the part.
And I'm going to eat while I preach, because if I don't eat, I start shaking. I'm so hungry. This is a beautiful apple. It looks good. Would you agree?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Heaven, it smells good. It is good. Do you have water in your mouth? Yes? I'm sorry, but I learned not to share. It's absolutely beautiful. It has a suit and a tie, Giorgio Armani, comes to Sabbath in time, and it looks perfect. Keeps the commandments, keeps Sabbath, and eats broccoli. Ah! Man, nasty.
All right, so that apple, it looked good. It smelled good. But what was inside the apple that it tasted good and it smelled good and everything? What was inside? A worm. So we don't need a car. Looks good. It's a luxury. But it is unreliable and the engine is problems. Engine light is on. And the seats are all broken. We don't want that kind of car, don't we? So all we need is just we prefer a white car or silver because those are easy to see at night. White car, we would like a white or silver car. All-wheel drive, quite a large bag, not a really large bag like a Suburban or Escalade. Probably like a Highlander. That's what we are going to look for. And we also would need a reliable pickup. Oh man, I forgot to put the pickup picture. By the way, let me fix this. No, I can't fix that, but I like a good pickup truck would be It seems like Japanese make better cars and Americans make better pickups. So we prefer you get We called our friend last time, and he said he doesn't like Ford cars, but he preferred the Ford pickups. And also, uh, he said if you go for a Chevy pickup, a Chevy Silverado or Colorado, any Chevy pickup. So, and the third thing that we okay, here's the pickup. I don't know how the picture got here. Good job. Oh, when I see the 4 times 4 on the pickup, I just feel like just getting a marker and just adding equals 16. But I know I'm not supposed to mess up people's private property, so I won't do that. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. So this is the Ford F-150, a pickup truck. It looks like a strong one. And actually, our neighbor does have a Chevy Silverado. And I look at the wheels. When I notice the Silverado wheels, it's like tough. It can go through anything. So that's why a good pickup truck would make a good use. We need a good pickup truck. If you want a pickup truck, it has to be a good one. It also has to be a reliable one. It doesn't have to look really nice on the outside, but has worms on the inside. And you know what I mean by having worms in the inside means terrible engine lights are on, and bad seats and everything. And when you put something a bit heavy in the back, it just breaks. So we don't want those kind of cars. We does not. I would like it if it looks good outside and on the inside, just like nice people on the outside. They look nice, just like Absalom. What happened to Absalom? Did he look nice? Yes. Did he? Of course he did look nice. That's what the Bible says. And but how was his inside? It was not a good inside. It's worms. That's worms. Okay? So we don't want a car like that. We want a nice I would prefer a nice outside, also a nice inside. Actually, the outside doesn't have to be good looking as long as it is reliable. As long as it is reliable, that's fine with me. All right, and the third thing we need on the list, a couple of good watchdogs. I would like 2 or 3, but we prefer 2. 2 watchdogs, one in the front, one in the back. We need a couple of good watchdogs, and Pastor Doug Batchelor also has said that in his book. I think that is on the 14th chapter. Yes, chapter 14. He said, I've learned that bigger dogs can cause a meat to feed, and they usually don't live as long as the smaller breeds. So we want a meat-sized breed. Too small, and coyotes may mistake it for an appetizer. So, like as small as a chihuahua, the coyotes might say, that's my appetizer. I found mid-sized cattle dogs are very smart and live a long time. We had one for 16 years. If a dog's hair is too short, it tends to fill with ticks, foxtails, and burrs. If it is too long, they get too cold. I made a mistake. If a dog's hair is too long, it tends to fill with ticks, foxtails, and burrs. If it's too short, they get too cold in the winter. Living in the country with dogs, cats, and other animals can lead to emergency care, it will prove helpful to locate a trustworthy vet. About a couple of good watchdogs, and he said he has his I think his neighbor has cows and goats. He said goats are good if you don't want too much fire because they will eat almost anything. They'll eat even poison stuff. It'll be great if you have some of them. And if you have goats, you need dogs. Do you know why? Bears like goats. So he said, if you have goats, make sure to keep them away from your property because they will get over your cars. If they get the chance to have to climb over your nice white 2015 Toyota Highlander that is cheap. So, yeah. And he said chickens are good for fertilizer. I don't mean I'm not gonna say it, but they are good for an organic garden because they will eat insects, and you don't have to take an insecticizer, and they just all over the place. I don't think you want insecticides all over the place. So a couple of chickens can also do the job for you, and the chickens will eat the bugs, and they will even eat the poisonous bugs. So some animals are good for you, helping you in your country living. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. Remember, we have another live broadcast coming up at the SDA Sermons with Joel and YouTube channel around 8:10. Try to be there before 8:15. Thank you, everybody. May God bless you. God bless. Have a happy Sabbath and a good evening. We'll come back in 10 minutes or 10 to 20 minutes. So stay here because we're coming back soon. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe, hit the bell notification if you like the video, smash the like button. God bless you. Happy Sabbath. And smash the like button. Thank you.